Hey guys, this is kind of a update video, I guess, on my 98 Dodge Ram 1500 5.9 gas. Um, anyway, so I posted a video about a year ago, maybe. I know I was 16 and I'm 2 months away from being 18 right now. And anyway, the last time I showed it to you, it burned oil like beast out of hell, about a quart every 100 miles. Um, I was actually out here checking the oil in it a while ago, but since then, I done a plenum gasket repair on it. It had a high pitched noise ever since I had it, and I finally got tired of it. I was working this weekend, or this summer, and I had some money, so I decided, hell, I'm gonna fix it. Because I know it could cause some oil consumption. So I thought maybe if I do that, it stops some oil consumption. But anyway, had the oil changed and everything. The repair went well. Well, here's what I think happened. There was a little on the intake. There's a little sensor, and it was moving around. I didn't think nothing about it. Just put it on. I knew it worked before I took it back off. And anyway, so I didn't think nothing about it. Changed the thermometer or thermostat in it and everything else. Well, about a mile or two down the road, it was blowing white smoke and had never done that before. Anyway, climbing the hill out of the city that the shop was in, and anyway, noticed my thermometer was saying about 250 degrees. Pulled over, checked the oil gauge, and yep, blown head gasket. So I just decided, uh, to put a motor in it. So I did. It's a salvage motor. I'll show it to you. It's a salvage motor. Had 112,000 miles on it. Truck has oh, I got the trip on 224 641. And yes, the check engine light is on. It has this idle misfire on cylinder 5, and it runs perfectly fine. It's when I'm not idling. Now, when I'm idling, you can feel it. But anyway, let me show you the beast. Um, this is the beast. Uh, yes, this is a 1994 motor. But it would mount right up to the 1998. This took a month to get done, which was way too long. Um, and yeah, I was really ticked off at the guy that was doing it. I told him it was taking way too damn long. Well, I was helping him with it. Well, he only wanted to work, um, let's see here, two 2 hours out of each day, and we might work 3 days a week. So this thing took forever to get done. And my dad was really pissed off because he actually loaned me. Yes, I am paying him back, but he loaned me $1,000 to get it done. Motor was $600, which I thought was a really good deal, and the oh, all the fluids and stuff that went into it was $300 to $400. So a lot. I put Valvoline synthetic in it. And here's one thing that I'm really excited about. Guess what? I just checked the oil in it, transmission, and engine. I have drove it almost 1,500 miles, I think. 1,500, maybe just 1,000. Yeah, somewhere around 1,000 miles put on this motor. Well, it has used no oil, and I am so happy about that. Like, you have no idea how excited I am. But yeah. Um Now, one thing that I have noticed on YouTube, and it ticks me off every time because I always look it up and no one could tell me, nothing about it. All I could do was read, and no one had any videos on it. Well, I hauled all the heavy stuff from my sister's house um, to through the mountains, and it was about a 50-mile drive. And the first load, I had a whole bunch of boxes in the back here. It was full up. A couple of boxes probably weighed, I'm telling you, had to weigh like 100 pounds. So if I had to guess, there was probably a good, um, in the back of here, I bet there was probably about 300 pounds of payload. Um, we had stuff in the cab, in the back. It was me and my sister most of the time in the cab. That's about 400 pounds in the cab, so that adds to the payload. And I was hauling a 10-foot trailer that was probably about 700 pounds. And while the first load wasn't a problem at all, um, we took a couple more loads just fine. And then I went to go pick up a fridge. And the fridge was basically the only thing heavy that I hauled, like the only thing that affected this thing. That fridge, I am telling you, weighed probably close to 800 pounds. I mean, had to. I was lucky I had a trailer that came with a ramp, and we could barely push that thing up. And I mean, it just sucked. And anyway, it was one of the older ones, and we couldn't lay it down on its back. Number one, because we probably couldn't get it back up. And number two, just didn't, we couldn't. So we tied it up, standing straight up. So here was the trouble. We had about 20 mile to 30 mile an hour headwind coming out of the east, which was the way we were going. And anyway, so that fridge was standing probably a foot and a half above the cab, and it was on the front of the trailer, so that's tongue weight, weight on the vehicle. And that was the only thing that actually seemed to slow this thing down. And I personally believe that it was because of the wind and how much air it caught. Because, I mean, we were on 412 in a valley going up about that steep, I'd say. About 4% or 5% grade, I'd say. And I almost had my foot to the metal, but didn't. And it was probably towing in third gear, which wasn't that bad. But well, second, I'd say second. And we were going 60 mile an hour is what it would do. So we were keeping highway speed, but that was the only thing that seemed to slow me down at all, was that fridge catching the headwind. So as for towing, let me tell you, just I think I probably had at one point, I probably had about a good 2,000, maybe 2,500, maybe even 3 grand behind it. And I mean, it didn't even break a sweat. It wasn't getting hot at all. It's a cool running truck, and it was just a really good pulling truck. Now, some of the modifications, and this My Uncle Damon, who sold me the truck, told me this, and I didn't know whether to believe him or not. But he said that he thought the last owners before him put 1-ton springs on the back. And I didn't know whether to believe him, but let me tell you, I had that fridge and I had all them boxes in the back, and I had people in the cab. I had all that tongue weight, and I mean, just a lot on the rear end of this thing. And let me tell you something, this thing sat just as tall as it is right now. I mean, it might have squatted half an inch, but I mean, no squat, and that was pretty cool. I mean, it towed great, and even in the mountains, we had some curves that was followed by really steep inclines, and it just went. I mean, yeah, when you turn a corner on a mountain, you're not going to gain speed very fast, and I didn't expect to. And most of the time I was towing in overdrive. I I was going so far, and I just wanted to try to save as much fuel as possible. And it felt like it was towing just fine. So I kept it out of overdrive for most of the time. But I mean, it still hauled ass. But so that was the thing that I was ticked off about on YouTube. No one could tell me how it towed or anything, and no one had any towing videos of one of these things. And well, I'm just here to tell you I didn't take videos because it was my first time towing a trailer, and I didn't even play music on my phone. I wanted nothing but the steering wheel in my hand. So I didn't take any videos, but I'm here to tell you that it tows great, and I'm very happy with it. Like I said, didn't squat at all, um, and I'm just really happy with the way it towed. So uh, that's I I figure a lot of people want to know that, so there it is. Towed everything that I put behind it, and done it. I mean, with no problem. So there's the answer to that question. If you're asking that question, my uncle towed cars with it. Um, he said, and I said this in the last video too. He said that it towed better than his 94 uh, 3500 with a 350 in it, Chevy, small block. And yeah, so I mean, I could be nothing but happy with this truck. Um, as for problems with it, the plenum gasket was a big problem for a long time until I got this new motor, um, which was, I mean, pain to get in. Uh, but it uses no oil right now. Uh, oh yeah, I'll just show y'all that. My dad gave that to me. Hug a logger, and you'll never go back to trees again. So it is four-wheel drive, by the way. But yeah, I mean, I could be no happier with it now. I mean, this has been happening since y'all have seen me been picking at this thing for, you know, all the video. But the clear coat's coming off the bed, but it doesn't bother me none. I still think it's a good-looking truck. Um, I'll do a little bit of interior too. It's a little dirty. This is probably as dirty as it gets in my truck. I usually keep it really clean. This came with all the options that you could get in a 1598. Had the gas 5.9 in it, which most of them had the 5.2. Um, it has the leather, beechwood, leather interior. It does have the normal crack dash, but my uncle bought a carpet to put over it. It came with the plastic wood like dash right there. The radio works great. I mean, I've had no problems with it. Um, I mean, there's really nothing really that I can complain about this truck. Sometimes it does kick out of four-wheel drive. I've noticed if I floor it in four-wheel drive and when I let off of the gas, it'll kick out. And that's kind of annoying, but number one, hang on, I'm trying to get a piece of gum. I want a piece of gum. Oh, that's all melted. Screw that. Okay, I'm not doing that. That's nasty. My friend left his gum in here and I was going to take a piece of it. Anyway, um, just an overall great truck. And I know I'm making this video kind of long, but I mean, I felt like there hasn't been enough said about these trucks and the lights of towing and just overall performance. And I'm here to tell you that 335 pound-feet of torque out of this thing, um, I mean, it had no problems. And that's one thing I like about this truck is that it has 335 pound-feet of torque at, I think it's 2400 RPM in second gear. So, I mean, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. And for a gas engine, I like it. And they put these engines all the way up to the 1 tons, which I actually figured out today. I know they put them in the 3/4, but I didn't know they put them in the 1 ton. But like I said, this thing came with all the options you could get. It's a Laramie SLT. But yeah, I'm happy with it. It's a big truck. To be completely honest with you, it's not too bad on gas when you think of how big the motor is. It's not too bad. I mean, on average, I probably get about 14 to 16 out of it, and it's a gas burner. And I'm starting to think now that it has the 392 gears in it because I've noticed now the little Toyota Tacoma I had while this thing was getting fixed, um, it was high geared, and I'm pretty sure it had 410s in it. Why? I don't know. Off-roading capabilities probably, but it at 60 miles an hour, it would be revving about 2,000 and 2,200 RPM is what it'd do in fifth gear. Well, this thing, I noticed that it was doing without towing, but it was doing just on the highway. It was doing about 2,100 at 60. So I'm like, this thing probably, because they came out with the 392s and the 355. Now, the little thing under the hood says 355. But I'm like, the guy that bought this thing new, he used it for towing a camper. Now he put the 1 ton springs under it, and it just never made sense to me that if he'd do that, why wouldn't he change the gear ratios? So he might have, because I've noticed that. So, yeah. Uh, so yeah, I just, I was out here, and I just wanted to show people my truck. It's been a long time since I've put any videos on YouTube, and I do hope that this answers a lot of questions for some people. Like I said, I probably had $3 grand behind this thing, and the only reason that I think that fridge slowed me down was because it was standing straight up and it was catching so much headwind. And when we got out to unload it, you could literally see the bugs that have went over the truck and hit that. So yeah. Uh well, I mean, there's really not much else to say. I mean, I'm happy with the truck. The seats are so comfortable. Four-wheel drive, I mean, works great when it doesn't pop out. And radio works great except for the little knob. Kind of has some trouble sometimes. But uh, other than that, I mean, I'm really happy with it. Uh, like I said, right now it's not burning any oil. It's got great oil pressure, and it's not really making any sounds, to be honest with you. And yeah, just an overall good pickup. So I would recommend this truck to anybody that wants one. And I think in the last video I said, I'll turn this thing around. I think in the last video I said that anyone that's wanting to tow, you know, mid-sized loads, go ahead and get it. But, you know, I think this thing could, with the 392 gears, which is what I think now is in it, I think that you could tow a car with, I mean, for a gasser, I think you could tow it pretty damn good. Um, for old pickup. And I mean, the shifts are smooth in it, believe it or not, for a Dodge. But yeah, I'm just really impressed with it, especially after towing that. And you know, I've always wanted to know what it would tow because I'm one of those guys that likes heavy duty trucks. And I've always wanted to see what this thing could do. And my sister moving gave me an opportunity to. And I mean, it didn't break a sweat. Half half over half the time, besides that fridge being behind me, I couldn't even tell the damn trailer was back there. So yeah. Anyway, this has been a really long video. I think this is only like my 5th video on here, but that's just a 5.9 gas review for you. So I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope I answered some questions, and I look forward to, I mean, pulling some more with it. So, yeah. Alright, guys. I'll let y'all go. Oh, just one more thing. I've always kept this thing in here. This was the bottle of water that I was drinking when that old motor blew. And this is just a cool little reminder, I think. I mean, I was mad as hell. I actually put a dent in my truck when I punched it when I realized that the thing had blown. But I just keep this as kind of a reminder, you know, how lucky I am because I drove that small truck around so much and I miss this truck so much, you know, having a big truck, you know, and so this just kind of a reminder every time I look at it. I'm like, you know, I'm lucky to have a big truck. It rides great on dirt, believe it or not, and this is just kind of a reminder. So remember, if you're young and looking at these videos, let me tell you something. I spent $80 in all my labor fixing this thing up and just have it blow the motor. Let me tell you, freak things happen in this world, and ain't nothing you can do about it except fix it. And that's kind of the thing that I done with this. I mean, uh, my dad asked me, you know, what do you want to do? I said, well, do I have another decision besides rebuilding it? Well, I didn't rebuild it. I got another motor. But I said, do I have another option? You know, I love the truck. It's the only vehicle I own. And why buy another vehicle just with high mileage on it just to have the same old problems happen again? You know, so I put a new motor in it and I'm in debt $1,000. So just to let y'all know, anything can happen at the worst time possible. So anyway, I'll let y'all go. And I'm sorry this video took so long, but yeah, I'm really bad at explaining things too much. But again, I feel like there hasn't been enough videos on these things. So really happy with it. Alright guys, I'll talk at y'all later. Bye.